I'm so glad that we all turned up. And in a short while, you'll be joining me in welcoming my lovely, handsome husband, the main man in my life. That is Mr. Sabiti, to come and take us on.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And I will tell you, it's been a long journey, but God has been very, very faithful. The things that have been said about Hilda are true, because I'm in her life. We sleep in the same bed. I know these things, and I know you. She's that deliberate. She's that intentional. She's that selfish. Like her book, Deliberately Selfish. She's that serious. And she's a dreamer. She walks the talk. She's so serious about life that she does not waste any. And I am blessed to have you in my life. Under Activate, there's something I want to talk about. It says the discomfort of growth is always better than the illusion of safety. The discomfort of growth is better than the illusion of safety. I hate people that want to stay at the safe harbor. They're always somewhere safe. They call it safe. But safety is an illusion. Everything about you is about comfort. You don't want anything that disturbs your comfort. Weebaka n'obulizaako naye ng'ennyumba gy'osulamu si yo. Landlord akeera 12 ozuukuka ssaawa 4. I usually make noise for some of my tenants. I do it deliberately. Nze nzukuse gwe weebaka biki. Mpoga naogana muko wakiri. Safe harbor is not a place for you. Some of us traded our future for safety. And we are comfortable preaching to ourselves that wendi wamala wano wendi owaye ndaba sirina gwe nkosa baako b'okosa oba olina okubakosa. When you stop growing, you die. There is nothing as bad as a frustrated human being. Let me tell you, I hate that place called so-called safety. Nti wano wendi wali safe. The people that have had an impact, as when you talk about impact, nga balina kye bakoze, are people like you and me who are seated in this room today. You made a decision. It was a bit rainy, felt like it was going to rain, but you made a decision to come today. Why? Because you need value addition. There's something that you need for yourself. Oyina kyolaba mu bulamu bwo, oyina woyagala okutuuka mu bulamu bwo. And that's why you made the decision to come today. Wanji, now that you are here, there is something so special about you that you need to just help be activated. There's something about you that need to be birthed. Some people that I've interacted with, I was telling Hilda, the so-called successful people, the ones you look at and admire, ask them about their history. Some of them were 10 times worse than you, if not 100 times worse. I know of men in this country that are billionaires today, but they once sold the eggs. Ates amaji amafumba agoku tree. Bagatembeya. But today they are billionaires. What is so special about them? What is so different about them that we cannot pick up and do? I can assure you, they gave up the place safety. They took some risks. They sacrificed. That's why they are what they are today. The difference between the guy you admire and you is that he moved from the safe harbor a long time ago. And one thing that I identify with is failure. Damocho get a failure. They don't fear to fail.
I have failed so many times at so many things, but it is okay. When we were calling you to come, we didn't know that you would come. But even if you had not come, that wouldn't have stopped us from calling you again. Wanji? So someone gives up the place of safety and tries something that is unusual, something that is out of the ordinary. And that's why they become different. That's why they become special. She was talking about Ariela. Now, there's something I learned from my daughter. And I've picked it and I tried to go to flow with it. One day she wanted Hilda's phone. She came to me because she had tried so many times to get the mother's phone and the mother couldn't give it to her. And she had used my phone and my phone was boring because it's not so nice. So she came to me in the bedroom and said, Daddy, can you help me get mommy's phone? I said, I can't. She's using it, she's busy. She was like, oh, okay. She moved, she went to the sitting room and told the mother, Mommy, Daddy has said, give me your phone. So the mother was in between that place of, as in, is it real or not? So she came to me and said, wait, I have not said that. So, long story, she did not get the phone at that point. She did not give up. She came back to me and said, Daddy, I told you, help me. I need mommy's phone. Do you realize that persistence? I was like, but mommy told you she's busy with her phone. She was like, but I also want to play game on the phone. She's reasoning with me. I was like, but then you should be telling your mother. Now, she went to the mother this time. When she went to the mother, she did not ask for the phone. Guess what she did? She said, ah! And then she asked the mother, are you scared now? She came back and said, I've scared mom, but she's not scared. I thought I would scare her and she would throw the phone away. She waited. Now, let me tell you, she waited until the mother fell asleep and she got the phone. She came to me and said, can you remove password for me? I removed the password. Long story short, she had the phone. So when the mother woke up, I was like, password. But what I'm trying to say is that persistence. She knows what she wants and she cannot play safe. And she's like, I can only get it from my father. That's why we the stubborn one spiritually. We still go back to the Father on our knees and we pray. And we keep praying and we keep telling God, this is what we want. But because he's a father, then he knows that but we keep asking until God gives it to us. Now, there's something to learn about her not playing safe by saying, oh, why? That's my point, my other point. Some of you are too emotional. Your emotions, you get too emotional about everything. I wrote down and I say, sometimes your feelings and emotions are irrelevant. You apply them where they are not needed. When I need something from you, I keep coming back to you. All that I do is to change the way I approach you. But I still come. If you are my boss, one, I will respect you as my boss. I will not be emotional about it. When you back at me as your boss, I don't become emotional and touchy about that. I'll still find a way to come back to you and try to see how I can get what I need from you. I'll still put on that smile. I'll wear you out with being nice until I get what I want. But some of you are too emotional. Namukubide simu nata jukwata. Esimu jata akute. Yabade gwabade okuba yabate yajukute. Simu wakubye kuyiye. You understand? But you get emotional about that. No nyigo mwezi gwonna gwonna sijja kuddamu mukubira gwa mwetaaga. Ayinza okubanga teyakute simu kubanga yabade with other important meetings. Call again when you send a message and it's green ticked. You know those messages of WhatsApp, neziraga butiki bubiri ngali online natakuddamu toyomba tonyiga gwa mwetaaga. Abantu abalinayo balaga kye basooka okujjawo ziba ntondo. ovaamu entondo, ovaamu emotions n'okunyiigira ebitaliimu. Essente z'osaba si zizo z'oli, si bwe kiri? Y'ensonga lwaki ozimusaba. Bw'oba ozimusaba, teekamu obukodyo, kiwoomese. Muteekemu obwagazi, ssente asobole ozikuwa nga taleddemu ne. Seriously. But some of you are too emotional about everything. So your emotions sometimes are irrelevant. They are not applicable. Abamu kumwe mutiisa n'ebigambo ebingi, n'oyogera ebigambo bingi, kale tuli balaba. Waliwo yaŋŋamba nti kale gizimbe kale oligisuulamu, ne ŋŋamba nja gisulamu kubanga kinsonga lwaki ngizimba. The thing here is, the problem is you. You're too emotional. Emotional about everything. And too touchy about everything. Yawula ebigasa mu bitagasa. Weeyambe. If you're writing, number 2, faith in God and prayer. Self-belief, okwekiririzaamu. Faith in God, okubanga okkiririza mu Katonda, and prayer. It doesn't matter who thinks that you can't. Choose to have irrational self-belief. Break the barriers and ceiling, rise up and go for it. There are so many times when I've been approached by people and have assured me I can't do it. But because I have that inner conviction and self-belief that is so irrational, and I know I can have it, I've gone for it and it has come. Abantu abamu abajja gy'oli ne bakakasa nti you can't make it, you can't have it. It's because they're only preaching their fears. They're only telling you what they cannot do. And you can hear it in their voices that they tried and failed. So they are trying to make you their disciple by telling you can't do it. Wekiririzemu. Break the ceiling, break the barriers. Some of us have come from families which are poor. I think my wife usually says, she talks about her history where she says that her first time to see a TV, it was at the university. She's talked about that so many times. And she says, she says, I come from a very poor background, but I made a commitment to myself and I said I will never be broke and broken ever in my life. That's believing in her and proclaiming it. Believing it and confessing it. Having faith that it doesn't matter my history, it doesn't matter where I came from. I choose to believe otherwise. That if everyone failed, I'm not going to fail. If I come from a poor background, doesn't mean that poverty is written over my face, that I must be poor. It is the choice to think otherwise, believe otherwise, act otherwise. Self-belief, having faith in God and going for it. I love it when people venture out in faith and try out things. I found myself in places where I've been told the road you've taken is an impossible road. And I'm like, it's okay. And I've not failed. President Yoweri Museveni, I can freely talk about that man. I think when he was going to the bush, he must have had a lot of stories. A lot of them. They must have told him, you're going to die there. Because I was reading, I think, his book. He talks about a lot. And they called him all sorts of names. But he had a mission. I don't care about everything else. He won. You can have a mission today. I was talking to who? There was someone I was talking to recently. Nemogamba. If you're 20 years today, you can dream one day to be the president of the Republic of Uganda. And he said, is that even possible? I said, yes, it is 100% possible. Maybe I'm sitting with the next president. Because tebalina mbiri musayi gwa green, balina musayi nga gugo. If they have, you can. All that you need is to know how to walk that path. And it doesn't hurt if you fail to be the president, but you once be the prime minister or the vice president. It wouldn't hurt if you are at that level. I would be very proud that in this congregation mwavaamuko wakabi. Nawe oyogera ngo ina amanyi kati nga ndeyo mu myaka 65-7 ne ngamba omwami omumanyi yajjanga mu coach experience, that president of Uganda. Doesn't it feel good? We have a women president. You can be the first women president of Uganda. Have we had any? No, we have never. Bameka abakyala wano nga tekikola bubi ekyo. One day to wake up and you're the president of the Republic of Uganda. It's possible as a woman. Have the faith and go crazy with your faith. Whatever that you dream, you can have it. It is up to you to choose to walk that path. And I can assure you, you can have it. Nabanja, you remember her story? Agamba yatambuzaako Kabalagala ku bus. I think she's been in the Namayanja. She's been in the accelerated mentorship program. Yatambuzaako Kabalagala ku bus. Some of you have heard that story, right? Yatambuzaako Kabalagala. Manyi Kabalagala bana batunda Kabalagala ku bus. Ogulako as a girl. Today she's a minister. She had a dream and she never gave up on her dream. Ngamaliriza. Always be responsible, a man of your word, and always honor your commitments. Ekyo kikulu nnyo because reputation will always go ahead of you. Bameka bali wano nga mumenya abawala emitima bangi. Toyongerako ku list. Bw'oba wakamenya abawala bataano emitima, toyongerako. Layiro ogambe nti gwenzizaako gwempasa. Nti the next girl I go for, ono yagenda okukola next girl event, nti the next girl gwogendako okwogereza, gwe bwala gwogenda okuwasa. Nti abasigadde bonna be wamenya omutima bafuke history. Toyongerako mitima mirala. Be a man of your word. Commit and fulfill. If you promise, make it a point that you will fulfill. If you can't, that's something that I've learned from my wife. I'm a very emotional guy, and sometimes I found myself in places where I'm emotionally touched. You know, when you go to a place, it's a meeting, and you're emotionally moved, they need some money, and you know you have the money, but the money is for other things. So you end up committing or making a pledge, and the next thing is you're in a court from somewhere. Oyame milioni 10 ezo ziriwa gaziri ku account anti ziri wali wazimpa zigenda kola kino nenga bansonyiwe. So these days what I do when we go for some of these meetings and it's time for pledging, bwe mpuli omwago wansi nga gutandise okuvibrate nga gunaatera okwogera nga mukwatako nga ngamba lindako ngamba lindako bagala sente mbeka nti owulidde ganti kakati omanyi tugenda ba milioni emu gye tusobola gye tuba tubawa tetupromisinga nyingi kubanga you know that we have other commitments. Yes, now that has really helped me. A few times when I'm not with her I make those errors, but when I'm going somewhere nga manyi mulimu ebya sente mugamba mperekera. But when you make a promise, fulfill. Reputation is really key. Anything with a growth mindset, anyone who is a leader, anyone who is going somewhere in their life, they always honor their word. They always keep their word. They are responsible people and they don't speak vanity. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you.